What's up, guys? Sorry you guys haven't seen me in a while. School has just been crazy. Like, they just make me do so many schoolwork. But that's my personal stuff. It doesn't matter. So I'm here making a video. I think I'm gonna be considered semi-retired, just because school is just dawning on me with so many course load that I just don't have time anymore. So if you guys want to unsubscribe, I'd be totally fine with it. But I will make videos like maybe once every 2 or 3 months. So, but I do have a special video for you guys. It's one of a really underlooked leader. I don't know why this leader has not received a lot of sunshine or spotlight per se. It was introduced to me by my friend Panda, who likes to play. He's one of like the most creative deck builders in my locals, and so I took some of his ideas, and like many great scientists, you improve on that idea and see if you can make that idea better. So that leader is the Black Mass Saiyan. I'll read it out for you guys. His front side is Burst 3. You must place the top 3 cards of your deck into the drop area to activate the skill, and when this card attacks, you draw a card. So I think he's the only burst leader that when you attack, you can attack anything. You burst 3 cards instead of 2, and then you draw a card. So that's a lot of milling in this deck. And he has generic awaken when you have 4 or less life and tap 2 energy. His backside is what makes this leader a very great leader, I think. It makes it into like a toolboxy kind of leader, to where you can retrieve cards that you might need in situations. So I deem this deck to be called the Dark Situation deck, or you can call it the Dark Toolbox deck. So toolbox is the more commonly used phrase for card games when you have like you have abilities to search through your deck or your graveyard or your drop area. But I call it Dark Situation because this deck, or this game, allows you to play these silver bullet cards that you could either play 1 or 2 of. But this leader especially allows you to play more toolboxy or more situational cards that allow you to thrive in different situations. So that's definitely one of them. So his backside is activate main once per turn, burst 3 again. He's a leader that doesn't draw when he attacks, but it's better because you mill the top 3 cards of your deck. You choose 1 black battle card with 3 or more energy cost, and you add it back from your drop area to your hand. So, and on top of that, he gets a +5. So I will explain to you guys the combo that I can do with this deck, as well as the deck profile. If you guys just want to watch the match portion of the video, you can just click on the annotation on the upper left or right hand side of the screen, and it'll show up, and you can just click on that if you just want to watch the match portion. So like before, I'm just going to split it into 2 videos, and one video will be matches, this video will be combos and deck profile. So if you guys want to see the deck profile and the combos, tune in here, and I even have like in the description box different links you can click on, so that you can just go to different parts of the video, so you don't have to watch the whole video. It's going to be probably a long video because that's just my style, so sorry if you guys don't want to watch a long video. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next segment. Peace. So here's the deck portion of the video. I think this deck is amazingly cool on the combos, and especially since you're able to fetch things with your leader by milling the top 3 cards and adding a 3 cost or higher black battle card from your drop area to your hand. So that gives you a +1 without actually attacking with this leader. So there's a lot of tricks you can do with this leader. I'll explain this to you guys on the combo step, or the combo video, or the combo segment of the video. So let's start off with the deck profile. I borrowed a what is it called? Beyond Darkness Demagogue, which is the secret rare Demagogue that's popularly used in meta decks. So just pretend that this is that Demagogue. That's the secret rare. So a lot of people don't know this, or maybe you do, but you haven't shared it with the world yet. With this leader, you can mill Demagogue from the top of your deck. So let's say this is the SCR Demagogue from the top of your deck, and you can add it back to your hand. I mean, like, what's better than 1 Beyond Darkness Demagogue? What's better than 1 secret rare Demagogue? 2 secret rare Demagogue, right? And so, or what's better than 2, 3, and 4, right? So he has the ability to recycle the Demagogue either from the drop area or from the warp, and I'll show you why you can recycle from the warp. Even though he says only drop area, you can actually get a Demogorgon from the warp. So I'll show you very soon. So just pretend this is the SCR Demogorgon. I borrowed it from my friend Panda, and he lent it to me, and it's a really great card in a lot of matchups, and that's why it's $100. So yeah, let's pretend that's the Demogorgon. So I do actually play the Temporal Darkness Demogorgon, and he's the heart and soul of the deck, I think. Just because you have the ability to retrieve cards from the warp into play, and it really combos out really well with I'll show you, with Chain Attack Trunks. So if you have Chain Attack Trunks in your warp area, you can actually bring Chain Attack Trunks from your warp into play, and then Chain Attack will bring in a battle card 15k or lower. So originally I used to play this with Zeno, Plain God, but I found that to be pointless. Well, like why would I Dark Overwhelm to play this guy into a Chain Attack and reset the board? Like I'm already wasting an Overwhelm, and I didn't want to do that. So instead, I decided to go along a line of untapping energy through Preface. So this is a combo where you can go play him, and then play him, right? And he costs 4 energy for the Dark Overwhelm. If you're hard casting him. Well, you're not really hard casting him. You're Dark Overwhelming him. So if you Dark Overwhelm him, you can play Chain Attack from your warp. So always try to kick him in the drop area by comboing with him, and then warping him with regular Dark Overwhelm, or regular Overwhelm, or Dark Overwhelm. So you can play him and then play Preface. So in totality, it would only cost you 2 energy to play this Dark Overwhelm, because he's untapping 2 energy. So that's the concept I was trying to go after when I originally made this deck, was to play Chain Attack. So I'm probably gonna tell you guys the same combo in the combo video. So in other news, I do play the promo Demogorgon, which reduces the Xeno Evolve cost of this guy to 3. So when you do play him, I do play this guy for other reasons. So his other ability is, I'll read it to you guys. When you play this card, you can't play non-black battle cards. So which means you can only play black battle cards if you just do decide to overwhelm this guy. His other ability is, when you do play him, for the duration of the turn, your opponent can attack with battle cards with an original power of 10k or less until the end of their next turn. So a lot of popular decks nowadays, such as Super Shenron using the Bulma engine, most of the Bulmas are only 10k or lower, and so you can stop a lot of rush strategies such as that to get to your later turns. So you can play your SCR Demogorgon, right? Pretend that's SCR Demogorgon again, and so you use this card so that they don't kill you and skip your turn and attack you with a bunch of Bulmas. So he's really useful, and so and he's a 4 cost. So with your leader, if you mill him, you can actually fetch him back from the drop area, because he's 4 costs or 3 costs or higher, and he's a 4, so you can just add it back to your hand if in the event that you do mill him. In addition to that, you can actually search for this Demogorgon with Putine. So Putine was the reason why I also wanted to make this deck. She has the ability where you Dark Overwhelm 3 cards from your drop area, and you search for a Demogorgon that costs 4 or less on the power. So you just basically search for him, or you search for your other Demogorgons that are 4 lower. And one Demogorgon that seems to have seen play in the metagame is the Heavenly Demogorgon. So this is typically used for both vanilla skillless Goku, where you snipe a 3k or higher. And if they have 3 energies, you can actually snipe it in the combo step, only on your turn though. So you can actually search for this using Putine, and Putine doesn't actually drain any of your energy when you do play her. You just have to Dark Overwhelm 3 cards, which is really easy when you burst 3 with him on the front side. And the other one you can search for is the Dark Control Demogorgon God. So this is the Gotenks version, where you attack, and then it combos 1 card from your opponent's hand, and they get to choose, of course. And so you get the best of Putine's world here, by searching for these cards with these cards. So you get a +1 without actually using an energy, and you get a 10k body that you can actually swing with on top of that, or combo with, like whatever you want. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So my other cards that I played here are situational cards. So there's going to be a lot of 1-ofs, and the reason why it's a lot of 1-ofs because you can retrieve them. So I play the Power Overseeing Time, which allows you to add any card to your warp, to your hand for 2 energy. He's also a double striker, which is nice. We have good old Mira. Mira Creator Absorb. You can hit hard, and he's like a burn guy. He can burn for 1 damage. You have Scientist Fu, who's also retrievable by the backside of this. A lot of these cards are retrievable in this deck. And I also play this guy for the skillless Goku decks, where they span the board with a bunch of 1-drops. You can just warp all of them. He comes in a lot. Comes in clutch. You can use him for the Broly matchup, so you can kill the Broly. Same thing for why I would play this guy for the Broly matchup, where you could just kill the green Brolys that are really large earlier turns with this guy. So same reason why I'll play it. And then my 1-ofs, or these are all still 1-ofs. Sorry, this is part of this deck. So one thing I failed to mention earlier is that I play a card called Gravy. So Gravy is a card where you add cards from your warp area back into your drop area. So what does this mean? So that means your warp area now becomes a toolbox using his ability. So I'll show you guys later in the combo step or the combo videos. If you do have a Demagra, or this happened in match where I had a Demagra in rest mode, the secret rare, and I was playing against Janemba, and he warped my SCR Demagra using one of the Demon Sword Janemba into my warp area. And he attacked again with his leader, and I believe I comboed with him, and I placed Demagra back into my drop area, and next turn I used my leader to mill 3 and add the Demagra back to my hand. I mean, that's sick, right? Like, it's super good that you're able to do something like that with this leader. It's like very underlooked strategy. So you can also use Gravy for other reasons, to fill up your drop area so that you can have enough for Demagra again, so you can pay for them. A lot of synergy in this deck, and a lot of black cards as well. The super combo I played was Supreme Kai of Time. I don't know if this is better than the Master Roshi, just simply by virtue of the fact that Master Roshi can work at 4 life, and you can have 0 cards in your drop area, or no cards in your warp area. But I chose to go with the Supreme Kai of Time just to keep it classic. I should have a large drop area, or a large warp area, so I should be able to play this card. Master Roshi is just better in other ways, because he's always a 10k and she's a 0k. So you can only combo her, like if they drop Fu Shroud and Mystery against you, she's actually less better than the Master Roshi. So it's interchangeable. You guys can play the Master Roshi's black super combo, where you have 4 life or less, or you can play her. It just really depends on your style. So I chose to go with her. To help me awaken, I play the Time Trauma Mass Saiyan, which allows you to just take 2 life and help you awaken better. And you want to be awakened as soon as possible with this, just because you can have the toolbox esque ability. Another combo you can do is you can play her. So same concept with chain attack. You can chain attack her out, and you can end with a board of 4 cards just using 1 Demagra. Not secret rare, but 1 temporal darkness Demagra. So you can play her, chain attack into her, and then her steals a card from your opponent. So you end with 4 cards using just 1 guy. So yeah, I feel like I'm spoiling the combo video already. Another situational card, Dimensional Fu. He's a 5 cost. You can fetch it back with this guy again. Tien, 4 costs. It's fetchable again with him. Useful against blue leaders, so they can't sensu bean and survive longer. Another weird card I played is Krillin. So you can also fetch that with temper. You can also chain attack into this guy, and then he blocks. He's like a deadly defender for black leaders. So you can actually on top of that, you can draw a card with him too. So he's just different than deadly defender in the fact that you can draw a card, and he's weaker. He's 15k on your turn. So I wanted to play the Final Showdown Goku. The whole reason why I played this deck or this guy. It was to stop Victory Strike from killing me. So I wanted to stop Victory Strike in some way. So I would play him, and if they hide a mastery and rest this guy in rest mode, and they kill him somehow, I could just play Final Showdown Goku and then just snipe the hide of mastery because he ignores barrier or Victory Strike. So really cool little thing, but I didn't play him so because I didn't have room. So I just used him for blocker or a deadly defender block, and I actually played the actual deadly defender. So in situations where I can't play a colored card because of this card restricting me from playing non-black cards, I'll just play deadly defender using the temporal darkness when I Xeno evolve. Yeah, when I Xeno evolve this guy. So when I Xeno evolve this guy using this guy, I basically bring out this guy instead of that guy because he doesn't like colored cards or non-colored, non-black cards. Another card I played is the Forced Ejection Mass Saiyan. A lot of one-ofs, like I said before. It's pretty interesting. This actually came in against the Gogeta BR matchup where I sniped I warped an energy. So, and he's 3 costs again, fetchable. Haru, you're playing a blue leader against a, sorry, not a blue. If you're playing against a yellow leader or a green leader, he can actually untap energy. So, like I said, this is like this deck is interesting. It's like you can just do so much with this deck. So you can just go him into Haru, or you can just straight go into Haru, right? So you just play him for 4 energy, and then play him from the warp, untap 4 energy. So it's like you played him for free. So some amount of tapping in this deck. The one-ofs I play are Kami, Dark Mass Saiyan, Dende, and Cronoa. So these are the 1 cost that are not fetchable by him, but the 1 costs are fetchable by yours truly, Power Burst. So you can negate a card and actually retrieve the 1 cost from your warp or your drop area because that's what he does. So you can just get your Cronoa if you need it for yellow. You can get this. This actually came up. I actually negated a couple times against Gogeta BR, and I was able to get this and re-snipe his energy or re-scare him to not use the Viku ramp ability. Black Mass Saiyan for Child's Wish decks or any deck that just decides to spam you with 15Ks. So yeah, it's really cool. Power Burst that allows you to fetch these 4 costs from your drop or warp. And then I play a minus Killing Zone. Minus Killing Zone is just used for the Broly deck because I think they're the only decks in the meta right now that use Cold Bloodlust. But you don't actually have to play this card. But if you suspect that they play also Crusher Ball, you can also use that too, or Preemptive Strike. And the last card is just Champa. I couldn't find a card, but this actually turned out to be a pretty decent card because you could get, if they're at 5 life, you can further instruct your Champa with your SCR demo, or not your SCR demo, with your Temporal Darkness, because he's only a single strike. So if you attack with him and you combo with this card, he's a 40k double striker, and most people won't combo out of that because it's just such a large number for 1 card, and so they'll take the 2 damage from 5 to 3, and you can just finish him off with the SCR Demogorgon. So pretend that's SCR Demogorgon. Yeah, that's the deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed it. In the next segment, I will show you guys the combo video. Peace out. What's up, guys? This is the combo video. I just want to show you guys some setup you can do before you start the game. So let's say it's your turn, right? And you charge an energy, right? The cool thing you can do with this is that when you do attack with your leader, you do burst 3. So it's cool if you burst like 3 black cards. So let's say you burst 3 black cards, right? So you burst these 3 black cards. So what you can do if you have these 2 in your hand is that you could pay an energy, right? You can pay an energy and you could play Poutine, right? With Poutine, you can search for any Demogorgon 4 or lower and add it to your hand. So you Dark Overwhelm this, and then go to the warp. And you search for, you normally search with Poutine the 4 cost promo. His name is Encroaching Darkness Demogorgon. So you search for that, right? And then turn 3, so let's say you're in turn 3 now, where you suddenly charge for, let's say you charge this and that, right? Sorry, they're upside down. Let's say you charge these 3, right? And then you have Demogorgon and you have the lower drop. What you can do is just overwhelm for 4. So assuming you have 4 again, So let's say you warp these 4 again. Then you can like attack with him since he's a 10k, and then you can warp Xeno Evolve him, right? Pay 3. You can pay 3, and then you could play him, right? So with him, you can only play a non-black battle card from your warp area because of his restriction. So one thing I did fail to do in one of my matches, which I lost, was warp one of my opponent's battle cards. So don't forget that when you do play this guy actually warps a battle card from your opponent's. It doesn't matter what cost it is. So he does that in addition to being to playing a. So I wanted to show you guys where I messed up. So here I Xeno Evolved onto the Temporal Darkness Demagraw, and then I brought out Haro Haro, and I tried to explain to him that Haro Haro can untap 4 energy, and I got caught up in my explanation of Haro Haro that I also forgot to warp his Piccolo, which ended up costing me the game. I'll show you guys in a second. But later on, when my turn ends, he used the Piccolo and he double striked me since I only had 2 life, and he drew. He used a super combo into a super combo into a super combo, and he out comboed me because of that little interaction. So here's the first super combo he draws, and he combos the card that he just drew, which is another super combo, and he draws. And then he plays the super combo he just drew again, and then he draws again, and then he plays another super combo, which I think he already owned this one. But basically, by not warping his Piccolo last turn, I was unable to secure the victory as a result. So don't forget that you could warp the Piccolo, or you should warp any battle cards that get in the way of your victory. In this case, I allowed him the opportunity to do this to me with the double striker because I failed to do that last turn. So don't forget that these little mistakes can cost you the game, and these mistakes will end up costing you your prizes as well. But in the end of this tournament, I still won the box tournament because he had already lost earlier rounds, which was the first round, and I lost in the final round, and my tiebreakers were just better. So I ended up winning first place regardless of this loss. But in the future, don't forget that Demagogue can do this. So, yeah. With him, you can retrieve back this guy for future plays, or you can start to do your normal plays. So whatever situation you need, whatever situation that you might need. So let's say you're playing against a yellow leader, you can actually bring back Haro Haro and untap all your energy as if you never paid any energy. That's a pretty cool sick combo that you can do. So yeah, you can untap all your energy using Haro Haro if you're playing against a green leader or a yellow leader, right? So that's one little thing you can do. What else can you do? You could play TN. So if you do decide to play TN, you unfortunately can't untap your energy. But in situations where you're playing against Janemba, you can stop them from playing Sensu Bean and keep attacking them with all these big beaters. I wouldn't recommend going to TN most of the time. So TN is just a last resort if you need to use him. Other things you can do is you can play the actual combo, which is with him. So some Hirudegarn builds have been playing this combo with this because he can dump cards into the drop area. So with him, you can fetch him from the warp, and he can actually these two become a pretty deadly combo because he's a 30k beat stick and he's a 20k, and it's really strong choice. So say you do decide to hard cast this guy, because you can fill your drop area really easily with this guy. You could simply just do the combos I've been talking about in my deck profile, where you play chain attack. So you can play chain attack from the warp area with him if you do decide to hard cast him, and you can play a plethora of different cards. The main thing I wanted to do was play Preface. So you Dark Overwhelm for 4, and then you play chain attack from the warp, and if you have this guy in your hand, you can play him because he's a 15k. Then you can untap 2 energy, so he basically becomes a Dark Overwhelm for only 2 energies, and you have 3 bodies on the board you can do in 1 turn, and that's pretty powerful, in my opinion. And it doesn't even just stop there. You can, instead of doing preface, right? Let's say you're playing against a certain matchup where instead of going to him, you can go into where is that card? Jesus. Okay. Instead of going to him, you can play her from your hand, and her ability lets you steal a 3 cost card from your opponent and put it on your board. So you actually end up with, let's say they own this card, right? You actually end up with 4 battle cards from 1 card. Actually from 2, because you would have to have that in the hand. But this card is fetchable using your Black Mass Saiyan on the back side. So say she's in your drop area, you can actually retrieve her, right? Not hard cast it. Dark Overwhelm this, play this from the warp, play her, right? And then steal a guy. That's 4 bodies that you have off of just 2 cards and only 4 energy. And I think that's a pretty nifty little combo you can do for 4 energy. Like, there's no card that you pay 4 energy, you have this much battle cards. Well, maybe if you like count it up simultaneously, but this is just from one get-go. You have 4. Like, that's pretty good. Other combos you can do is what can you do? What else can you do? I mean, this whole deck is synergistic. Like, you just play a bunch of combos. Yeah, I don't think I could show you anymore. So let's say you want your temporal darkness, and it's just so happens to be in the warp area because you dark overwhelm or you overwhelm regularly, right? And he only fetches cards from the drop area. What you can do instead is combo Gravy, and he says that when you attack with this card or you combo with him, you place a card in your warp area back into the drop area, right? That's pretty good. And then when you use his ability to burst 3, you can just fetch him back from your drop area back to your hand. Like, that's so much synergy. Like, this deck is super cool. So I know I'm really selling you guys on this deck, but I can't emphasize this enough until you play it. So play it and come up with combos that you can actually use instead of playing, traditional meta cards. So yeah, I think that's the combo video. I don't think I have anything else to share with you guys, but that was my combo video. So if you guys enjoyed it, just come check in a while and see what else I have to offer for rogue decks. So peace out, guys.